All right, guys, today I'm going to discuss the journey of a typical CELPIP student, and this is something that a lot of you don't know if you haven't done this exam at all. If you have done this exam for a few months, and I'm going to tell you why it's going to take a few months, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. CELPIP is not an easy English exam, especially if you're doing this for the first time. This is the typical journey of a CELPIP learner. I'm not going to say student because when all of this is happening, they're not our students. After all this has happened, they become our students. So let me tell you what happens when you start. So when people book the CELPIP exam, especially people who are intermediate or upper intermediate learners, and by the way, those are most of our customers. We also have all types of customers, lower intermediate as well. But that's confusing. Like, why are my customers intermediate or more? I mean, those guys should be passing the exam left and right. That's the problem. It's not that way. So when people book the exam, they're fairly confident in their English level and language skills. They go and book the exam mostly a week before, 2 weeks before. Their lawyer just told them you got to do the exam, and you book the exam. The very first thing that happens is after 2 weeks, they have told everybody that after this, I'm going to apply for immigration. Mr. Lawyer, be ready. My results are coming, and they are shocked. Usually what happens is you would pass reading and listening. Sometimes you might even fail in those, especially in reading. Reading is getting very hard these days. We have to make a video soon about addressing some of the new reading changes, so please subscribe if you haven't already. But even if you make it in reading and in listening, most likely you're stuck in writing and speaking. Okay, so writing and speaking is always below 9. Most people get below 9, and if you're at intermediate, you might even get below 7. So if you're upper intermediate, you'll definitely get below 9 on the first attempt. What has happened here is your first shock. This is very common, and most students are surprised how low the results could be. I mean, your reading and listening could be 11. Writing and speaking could be 5. This happens all the time. So this is your first time doing the exam. It is a shock, and you did it in 2 weeks, which is another problem because you took it lightly. You thought it was an English exam, just like what you did in high school. Okay, time passes by, you book another exam. This time you practice. How? You ask your friends and family to evaluate your writing. You look at online samples, and here's where all problems happen. When you ask your friends and family to do your evaluations, they obviously don't know what the marking criteria for CELPIP is. They are also thinking that it is just like their high school English exam, but it's really not. It is way more detailed. It's not just English, it is CELPIP examiner marking criteria that you need to know. Now, they guide you incorrectly, they give you false hope, and you think this is okay, and you go and book the exam again after asking your friends and family. Now you feel more confident. Once again, you get stuck in writing and speaking. And this time you're really frustrated because you actually practiced. But again, this is the second failure. Once again, you're not done failing yet. There's a third failure too, all right? Now this time you're serious. You know that you cannot take this exam lightly, so you study more. A lot of people still make the mistake of booking the exam in 2 to 3 weeks. But if you're smarter, you said, well, it's taking time. It's not that easy. I gotta book the exam 3 to 4 weeks out. By the way, I always tell people the optimal time is 6 weeks, 6 weeks of preparation. But you still do, let's say 4 weeks-ish maximum. This time you really study, and you think you studied, but there's lots of problems. And that's why you will fail again. And I'm going to tell you what I see mostly with students at this point. Because when they said they have studied, they make a few mistakes. First of all, they're not studying sitting down for 2 hours or 3 hours, and that is the actual required time for the CELPIP exam. So you actually go in the environment of the exam and feel very stressed and nervous because it is so long. Whatever you're scoring at home too should be, you should take that as a conservative approach, because in the exam, you're more nervous, you are unsure about the situation, and the actual exam is more difficult than the ones you see online. And that's why I always tell people, go with the mock tests on our website. The link is in the description for our course. You find 5 mock tests there that reflect the real exam's difficulty. So it's very important you prepare with that. But you haven't done that. You prepared with the easy tests. You looked at the samples online, which mostly are incorrect. They give you false hope that the exam is easy, but in the actual exam you make 2 to 3 mistakes, your 9 points are gone. Okay, so this time you are confused. Now you feel helpless because now you felt like you prepared, but you didn't prepare the right way. You didn't sit down for the right amount of time. You didn't look at the right samples, and you had no approach on revision or feedback. For example, if you're doing this on your own, friends and family feedback is maybe going to be worse than not having their feedback, because they might just tell you the wrong things. But if nobody has given you feedback, nobody has guided you on what is right, what's wrong, you don't know what you are doing and you're just continually doing the same thing. And if you are not given feedback, nobody has marked your writing in red or given you notes on speaking, what will you revise? Nothing. You will just be doing the same thing over and over again, practice a little bit more material, think you're doing better, and be shocked again in the exam. So by the time you are done with the third exam, which is the typical journey of a CELPIP learner, now you have wasted more than $1,000. It's usually 300 plus on registration. Sometimes you might get desperate, do reevaluation, and it's going to be even more than $1,000. You have wasted about 4 to 5 months, maybe even more. Every exam's result comes in 2 weeks, and obviously you have your preparation time, so you have wasted all that time. You're losing your time for immigration. The draws, the CRS scores can change. Maybe you didn't apply at the right time. And you are highly demotivated. I mean, how would you go to the fourth attempt thinking anything will change? Now you have hurt yourself, demoralized yourself as well. And this is the time when people start looking for coaching. And that's why a lot of the emails I get are in the same pattern. I did CELPIP these many times over this year and I failed, and this is my third attempt, this is my fourth attempt. I would average everything around 3 attempts. And that's what I always say to people that on average, people fail 3 to 4 times in CELPIP. It is not uncommon. So the good thing is you're not the only ones. And let me tell you, you're not a bad person or you haven't made any major mistake in your learning. This is what most people do. They think they're ready. It's not like you're irresponsible. It's a common trend. But at this point, you start looking for coaching and you find qualified tutors. Sometimes you can find people who are just on websites like Kijiji, people with less experience. You can then again waste more time and even go backward. Or you can find reputable organizations like ourselves. You can see our reviews anywhere online. People say a lot of positive things. Even just check out this channel. There's all positive comments. Even with our course, same thing. Now, when you email us, we tell you 2 things. All right, look, if you're really close to your exam, and we give you a customized email, by the way, you can just take our CELPIP self-paced course, which is in the description. You can avail that. All right. That is a 15-hour course that you can finish at your own schedule. You don't need a tutor for that. You get all tips and tricks, everything detailed that you do not see on YouTube, mock tests that reflect the real exam, and a free feedback offer that you will see once you click the link in the description. So if you're fairly close to your examination score, we tell you do this, and we guarantee that you will get your results. If you don't, there's a money-back guarantee, which nobody else offers, which is why our course stands out, and that's how much we believe in it. As you can see from the reviews, you'll see more when you click the link in the description. Or if you're really behind, and if you have failed more than 3 times, if you have failed 6, 7 times, we tell you need life coaching. With a tutor, you get feedback, you get detailed feedback. They're slightly more pricey classes, but at least a tutor gives you encouragement, guidance, constant update on your feedback and progress, and that way you know exactly what to do to improve. So we provide you flexibility. If you want to do your exam urgently and you don't have time to schedule lessons or patience to do that, go with our course and we're so confident we tell you that there's a money-back guarantee. Or go with our live tutoring. Again, you have a human being there helping you nonstop, making sure you succeed. But you have the option. If you are doing this for the first time, go and try. Just don't repeat this pattern that fellow students are repeating. Don't waste 6 months of your time, more than $1,000, and end up taking something that you can take right now. I always tell people take 6 weeks of preparation and proper coaching. My course right now is $39. If you apply the 20% discount, that coupon code will pop up as soon as you visit the website. For $39, you save $1,000, 6 months of study, and demotivation, uncertainty, everything, okay? So this is also gonna get you closer to your PR and educational dreams. Whatever you want with your life in Canada, you can achieve with the help of passing this exam, basically getting rid of this from your way. So follow the guaranteed steps, and it's completely your option if you don't want to. I just wanted to tell you what happens with most people, the kind of queries I get, the horror stories I get. There are more horror than what I have just described. They're more scary. You don't want to be a part of those. Take proper coaching, take proper preparation, and be sure that you're ready for your exam instead of hitting in the dark. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. We'll talk very soon.